Hello there, and welcome to Sleepy Wiki. I'm so glad you found your way to this quiet corner. As you settle in, perhaps allow your body to gently soften, feel your shoulders drop away from your ears, and let your breath slowly, softly deepen just a little. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. Tonight, as the world outside begins to gently dim and hush, we'll unfurl a concept that has quietly bloomed from ancient wisdom, yet holds such profound and gentle relevance for our modern lives. We'll journey through the whispered principles of something known as Buddhist Economics, not a dry, numbers-focused study, but an approach to our material world that seeks harmony rather than mere abundance, genuine well-being rather than just accumulating wealth. Imagine, if you will, an economy not relentlessly driven by endless craving or consumption, but instead guided by compassion, by mindful awareness, and a deep understanding of how all things are interconnected. It's a path less traveled, perhaps, a quiet philosophy for living within our means and valuing what truly nourishes us. A gentle unfolding, offering a vision for a more balanced, peaceful existence for all. If these quiet reflections bring you a moment of calm, or perhaps a flicker of curiosity, you might consider gently joining our community by subscribing or leaving a soft like to help others find their way to this peaceful corner where we explore the world one gentle whisper at a time. Now, let us slowly, softly begin to explore the quiet wisdom of Buddhist economics. Our journey now takes us back through time, not in a grand, sweeping gesture, but with the gentle curiosity of a firefly exploring the twilight. Our journey now takes us to a landscape steeped in ancient wisdom, a land of vast plains, sacred rivers, and burgeoning thoughts. India, nearly 2.5 millennia ago. Imagine the world then, not as we know it today, but as a tapestry woven with threads of deep tradition and startling innovation. Great rivers like the Ganges were not merely waterways, but the very arteries of life, sustaining verdant agricultural lands. And from this fertile soil, not just crops, but entire civilizations had bloomed. If we could peer back through the mists of time, guided by the quiet whispers of archaeological discoveries, we'd see cities rising like ancient coral reefs, structures built of baked brick, with intricate drainage systems that speak of advanced urban planning. The remnants of the Indus Valley civilization, millennia before our specific period, already hint at a sophisticated understanding of trade, with standardized weights and measures, artifacts like small, precisely carved stone cubes, telling us silently of a people who valued order in their exchange of goods. By the time Siddhartha Gautama, the man who would become the Buddha, walked the earth, this economic landscape was evolving rapidly. The Vedic era, with its focus on pastoralism and ritual, was giving way to an age of iron. The widespread adoption of iron technology, a quiet revolution often overlooked, allowed for the clearing of dense forests, transforming vast tracts of land into arable fields. This agricultural surplus, a verifiable historical fact, led to something profound: specialization. Not everyone needed to be a farmer anymore. Some became artisans, crafting beautiful pottery or intricate textiles. Others became merchants, their caravans tracing ancient trade routes like migratory birds across the continent, carrying spices, precious stones, and textiles. The clinking sound of new copper and silver coinage now verifiable through numismatic studies of ancient hoards, was beginning to echo in bustling marketplaces, a testament to a shift from barter to a more complex monetary economy. It was a time of immense material growth, of accumulating wealth, particularly in powerful kingdoms like Magadha. Yet, amidst this rising tide of prosperity, Siddhartha, with his remarkably keen observation, perceived a paradox. He saw that this pursuit of more, this endless striving for external possessions and transient pleasures, often led not to lasting joy, but to a subtle, persistent undercurrent of dissatisfaction. This insight, a cornerstone of Buddhist thought, resonates with what modern cognitive science describes as the hedonic treadmill, a phenomenon where our brains, particularly the reward pathways involving dopamine, constantly adapt to new levels of pleasure, requiring ever-increasing stimulation to maintain the same level of satisfaction. What the Buddha, through profound introspection and meditation, seemed to intuit about the human mind's insatiable craving, or tanha, long before microscopes could reveal the intricate dance of neurotransmitters, was truly remarkable. His core observation, the truth of dukkha, often translated as suffering, but more accurately conveying dissatisfaction, unease, or inherent dis-ease with existence, was deeply rooted in this economic reality. He saw individuals and societies caught in a relentless cycle, desiring, acquiring, enjoying fleetingly, and then desiring again, always seeking the next thing to fill a perceived void. This wasn't merely a spiritual problem, it was a socio-economic one. The very mechanisms of resource allocation, production, and consumption were, he believed, often driven by this restless craving. From these foundational observations, the seeds of Buddhist economic thought began to sprout, offering a different way of relating to the world and its resources. Instead of focusing solely on accumulation, the emphasis shifted to well-being, both individual and collective. One of the earliest and most profound principles was ahimsa, the practice of non-harm. This wasn't just a moral injunction for human interaction, but, as early Buddhist texts consistently show, an ecological awareness. It extended to all sentient beings and, by extension, to the natural world that sustained them. Ancient agricultural societies, like those in India, were acutely aware of their reliance on the environment, the fertility of the soil, the rhythm of the monsoons, the health of the forests. The destructive impact of unchecked logging or overgrazing, leading to soil erosion and desertification, would have been clear to observant eyes, much as environmental historians now reconstruct these patterns through paleo-ecological studies. The Buddhist emphasis on moderation and respect for life naturally fostered a nascent understanding of sustainable resource management. Another crucial element emerging from this origin was the concept of right livelihood, sama ajiva, an integral part of the Noble Eightfold Path. This was a direct ethical injunction regarding one's economic activities. It explicitly advised against professions that caused harm, trading in weapons, slave trading, butchery, selling poisons, or intoxicants. This was, in essence, an ancient form of ethical investing, a framework that deemed certain economic pursuits inherently unwholesome, regardless of their profitability. It was a radical idea in a world where profit often trumped ethics, challenging the prevailing notion that any means to acquire wealth was acceptable. This historical evidence of prescribed occupations gives us sociological insight into the moral economy that the Buddha sought to establish. Furthermore, the practice of dana, or generosity, became an economic principle. The establishment of the Sangha, the monastic community, itself represented a radical economic experiment. Monastics renounced private property and relied on the generosity of the lay community. In turn, the Sangha provided spiritual guidance, education, and social cohesion. This created a symbiotic relationship, a gift economy operating alongside the emerging market economy. Archaeological excavations of ancient monastic sites reveal them not just as places of worship, but often as centers of learning and even resource management, demonstrating a collective, non-acquisitive model of sustenance. Anthropological studies of traditional societies often highlight such dual economic systems, where gift exchange and community support play vital roles alongside market transactions. These origins reveal a profound interweaving of psychological insight, ethical guidance, and an acute awareness of the socio-economic realities of the time. The Buddha's vision wasn't to reject economic activity entirely, but to reframe it, to align it with principles that fostered well-being, harmony, and liberation from suffering, rather than perpetuating endless craving and conflict. It was a call to understand the vast, interconnected web of existence, where every economic choice has ripples that extend far beyond the immediate transaction, affecting not just individuals but communities, future generations, and the very fabric of the natural world. And it is this understanding of interconnectedness that will guide our thoughts as we gently turn to our next contemplation, exploring how these ancient roots have branched out into the modern world, offering a unique perspective on the challenges we face today. Those ancient roots would lie quiet for millennia, until the world began spinning faster and faster in the mid-20th century, enamored with the idea of boundless growth and ever-expanding machines. It was then that a gentle voice began to whisper a different kind of wisdom, awakening these timeless principles for a modern age. This voice belonged to E.F. Schumacher, an economist and statistician who saw a fundamental disconnect between the relentless pursuit of material bigness and the deeper needs of humanity and the planet. He looked at the world not through the cold, calculating lens of a factory floor, but with the warm, gentle curiosity of a botanist studying a living, breathing ecosystem. Schumacher invited us to imagine a different kind of economic garden, one where every plant, every creature, had its rightful place and could flourish without overshadowing or depleting its neighbors. He wasn't suggesting we retreat to the Stone Age, but rather that we find a middle way, a path he called intermediate technology. Think of it like this. If conventional industrial giants were colossal redwood trees, reaching for the sky and demanding vast amounts of sunlight and water, Schumacher championed the idea of smaller, more resilient fruit trees, or even carefully cultivated vegetable patches. These technologies, he argued, should be appropriate to the scale of human communities, empowering local hands rather than centralizing power in distant corporations. They should be gentle upon the earth, not hungry monsters devouring resources with an insatiable appetite. Plun. This concept of appropriate scale finds profound echoes in the very architecture of nature. Consider the biological cell, the fundamental unit of life itself. Each cell operates within precise physical dimensions, optimizing its surface area to volume ratio for efficient nutrient absorption and waste expulsion. If a cell grows too large, it becomes inefficient, its internal transport systems struggle, and its metabolic demands can outstrip its ability to interact effectively with its environment. Similarly, in large-scale human systems, be they factories, cities, or global supply chains, there are often diminishing returns. The further you scale up, the more complex the logistics, the greater the energy expenditure for transport and control, and often the less resilient the system becomes to local shocks. Schumacher intuitively grasped this principle, which modern ecological economics quantifies through concepts like the Jevons paradox, where increased technological efficiency can sometimes paradoxically lead to increased consumption overall, or the fundamental laws of thermodynamics. Every transformation, every production process incurs an energy cost, and some of that energy is inevitably lost as unusable heat, a concept known as entropy. Schumacher's intermediate technologies aimed to minimize this entropic waste, working with natural flows rather than against them, preferring human energy and local resources over distant fossil fuels, thus ensuring a more thermodynamically efficient and less wasteful approach to production, aligning human endeavors with natural limits. His wisdom extended beyond technology to the very idea of growth itself. Schumacher questioned the sanity of an economic system that assumed infinite resources on a finite planet. He famously declared that anyone who believes in indefinite growth in anything physical on a finite planet is either a madman or an economist. This wasn't a call for stagnation, but for mindful awareness of our planetary home. It was like understanding that even the most abundant garden has a carrying capacity. You can't endlessly add more plants without depleting the soil, causing competition for light, and eventually diminishing the health and vitality of the entire garden. Modern science, through the meticulous work of researchers like Johann Rockström and his colleagues, has given us a clearer map of these planetary boundaries. We now understand the critical thresholds for climate change, biodiversity loss, freshwater consumption, nitrogen and phosphorus cycles, and land system change. Crossing these boundaries isn't just an abstract economic problem. It's a real, measurable threat to the stable, life-supporting conditions that have allowed human civilization to flourish for millennia. Schumacher was peering into this future, urging us to respect these invisible lines long before they became critically apparent in our climate data and ecological reports. But Schumacher's vision wasn't just about resource limits. It was deeply human. He believed that the purpose of economics was not to produce goods, but to produce satisfactory human beings. When economies become too large, too centralized, and too focused on purely material output, they often alienate individuals from their work, their communities, and even themselves. He championed right livelihood, a Buddhist concept suggesting work that is meaningful, non-harmful, and provides purpose. This resonates profoundly with what modern psychology and neuroscience are beginning to reveal about human well-being. Studies on intrinsic motivation, for instance, consistently show that people are often more fulfilled by work that offers autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Precisely the qualities fostered by appropriate scale, locally controlled enterprises. When we are deeply engaged in creative, meaningful work, our brains release vital neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, contributing to feelings of satisfaction and happiness. fostering a sense of connection and reward. Conversely, work that is purely mechanistic, isolating, or exploitative can lead to chronic stress, impacting our cortisol levels and overall mental and physical health. Schumacher understood that true economic health wasn't just about GDP. It was about the flourishing of the human spirit, the delicate balance of inner and outer worlds. The seeds Schumacher planted have, in recent decades, begun to sprout into vibrant new fields of thought and practice. His ideas form the very bedrock of what we now call Buddhist Economics, but also inspire movements far beyond. Consider donut economics, pioneered by Kate Raworth. It elegantly visualizes our challenge to meet the social foundations, like access to food, health, education, and peace, without overshooting the ecological ceiling, the planetary boundaries we just discussed. The donut is essentially a safe and just space for humanity, a vibrant zone that avoids both social deprivation and ecological overshoot, reflecting a balanced enoughness philosophy, meticulously mapped out with scientific rigor. Then there's biomimicry, a field that takes direct inspiration from nature's designs and processes to solve human problems. It asks, how would nature solve this? Instead of linear, wasteful industrial processes, biomimicry seeks cyclical, regenerative systems. Just as a forest ecosystem thrives on nutrient cycling, where every waste product is a resource for another organism, biomimicry aims for a circular economy. This means designing products and systems where materials are continually reused, repaired, and recycled, mimicking natural systems where there is no true waste. Scientists in material science and industrial ecology are now actively developing self-healing materials, designing manufacturing processes that use significantly less energy, and even creating architectural solutions inspired by the thermal regulation of termite mounds or the water-repelling properties of lotus leaves, all embodying the gentle efficiency and deep interconnectedness Schumacher advocated. The growing global movement for degrowth also finds its lineage in Schumacher's critique of unlimited expansion. It's not about stopping progress, but reimagining it, shifting away from quantitative growth towards qualitative development, focusing on well-being, ecological restoration, and social equity, understanding that less throughput can mean more flourishing within planetary limits. These modern interpretations are like tributaries flowing from Schumacher's original spring, enriching the landscape with scientific data and practical applications, showing us that small is beautiful is not a nostalgic dream, but a viable, scientifically sound path to a flourishing future. As we drift further into the quiet currents of thought, we might begin to wonder, how do these principles translate into practical guidance for our daily lives? The answer lies in the very heart of Buddhist philosophy, a timeless path that shows us how to align our work and our choices with wisdom and compassion. This timeless path, the Noble Eightfold Path, offers us 8 interconnected practices for living wisely. And among these, our gentle contemplation now turns to one of the most practical and profound: right livelihood. Imagine, if you will, that each life is a delicate, intricate garden. Our work, our daily means of sustenance, is like the water we draw, the seeds we plant, and the tools we use to tend to this garden. Right livelihood asks us to consider whether our daily actions, those efforts we pour into earning our keep, are truly nourishing our own garden, and crucially, the vast interconnected garden of the world around us. Are we cultivating beauty and abundance, or inadvertently sowing discord and depletion? At its heart, right livelihood encourages us to earn our living in a way that is ethical, compassionate, and does no harm to ourselves or to others. It's a profound question that delves deep into the ripples our economic choices create, reaching far beyond the transaction itself. Think of it not just as a moral guideline, but as an ecological principle, a blueprint for a truly sustainable existence, echoing the intricate balance we observe in nature's most resilient ecosystems. The ancient teachings gently guide us away from certain occupations, those that are seen as fundamentally unskillful because they inherently create suffering. Let's explore these through the lens of scientific understanding, observing the subtle and not-so-subtle ways they disturb the natural order. First, there is the dealing in weapons. Picture the very essence of energy. In the cosmos, energy often seeks equilibrium, flowing from high to low potential. But a weapon is designed to unleash energy in a violently imbalanced way, often for the sole purpose of disruption and harm. Consider the immense kinetic energy released by a projectile, or the rapid chemical transformation within an explosive device, converting stable compounds into a chaotic surge of heat, light, and pressure waves. These waves, invisible yet potent, can physically alter landscapes and, more profoundly, impact the delicate neural architecture of living beings. The human brain, in the face of such destructive force, undergoes significant stress responses, activating fear circuits in the amygdala and potentially leading to long-term post-traumatic stress, a biochemical etching of trauma onto the very fabric of memory and emotion. A livelihood built on creating tools for such imbalance is, in a very real sense, working against the harmonious flow of natural energy and the biological imperative for safety and well-being. Next, the path advises against dealing in living beings or meat. This isn't merely a philosophical stance, it's deeply rooted in our understanding of biology and ecology. Every living creature, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale, possesses a complex physiology designed to experience and respond to its environment. We know that mammals, including humans, share remarkably similar pain receptors and stress responses. When an animal experiences fear or pain, its body releases stress hormones like cortisol, initiating the fight or flight response. A livelihood that involves the exploitation or slaughter of animals on a massive scale often entails systems that disregard their natural behaviors and well-being, leading to chronic stress and suffering. Scientifically, this has vast implications. Industrial animal agriculture, for example, is a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, particularly methane, a potent climate warming agent. It consumes vast quantities of water and land, often leading to deforestation and biodiversity loss. The concentrated waste products from these operations can pollute waterways with nitrogen and phosphorus, creating algal blooms that deplete oxygen and decimate aquatic life, a phenomenon known as eutrophication. From a physiological and ecological perspective, a livelihood that exploits sentient life on an industrial scale creates a cascade of imbalances, both in the animal's individual experience and in the broader planetary ecosystem. Then there's the caution against dealing in intoxicants and poisons. Our bodies are exquisitely complex biochemical machines. intoxicants, whether alcohol, drugs, or other mind-altering substances, directly interfere with the delicate neurochemistry of the brain. They can flood synapses with neurotransmitters like dopamine, creating transient sensations of pleasure, but often at the cost of long-term neuroadaptation, leading to dependence and cellular damage. Chronic exposure can shrink certain brain regions, impair cognitive function, and disrupt emotional regulation, fundamentally altering perception and behavior. Poisons, on the other hand, are compounds designed to disrupt biological processes at a cellular or systemic level, leading to illness or death. The manufacturing, distribution, and consumption of such substances not only harm the individual's physical and mental health, but also create societal burdens, healthcare costs, impaired productivity, and increased social instability. Ecologically, the production of many intoxicants and industrial poisons can involve processes that release toxic byproducts into the environment, contaminating soil and water, and disrupting the delicate food web, leading to bioaccumulation in organisms higher up the chain. It's a livelihood that, by its very nature, introduces chaos into the biological and environmental systems. Finally, the path warns against practices involving fraud, trickery, and exploitation. While less about tangible substances, these actions operate on the intricate social and psychological ecosystems of human interaction. Trust, a fundamental cornerstone of any stable society, is built on consistent, honest exchanges. From a neuroscientific perspective, trust involves the release of oxytocin, a bonding hormone, which facilitates social cooperation. When trust is violated through fraud or exploitation, these neural pathways are disrupted, leading to increased activity in areas associated with threat detection and anxiety, like the amygdala and insula. Repeated experiences of deception erode this social fabric, leading to cynicism, isolation, and increased social friction. Exploitation, whether of labor or resources, creates stark inequalities, leading to social unrest and systemic instability. Just as a healthy ecosystem requires a balanced flow of nutrients and energy among its components, a healthy society requires a balanced and equitable exchange of resources and value among its members. Livelihoods built on deceit or exploitation are like a parasitic organism, draining vitality from the host and ultimately weakening the entire system. So, if these are the paths to avoid, what then is right livelihood? It is the opposite. It is the work that contributes to the well-being and flourishing of all, that respects the delicate balance of life. It's the sustainable farmer who understands soil microbiology and practices regenerative agriculture, allowing the earth to breathe and renew itself, enhancing biodiversity and carbon sequestration. It's the ethical artisan who creates beautiful objects with sustainable materials and fair labor, valuing both the craft and the well-being of the craftsperson. It's the healthcare worker, the educator, the scientist, the environmental protector, anyone whose work is an act of service, fostering health, knowledge, peace, and ecological harmony. Consider the work of a beekeeper. They tend to their hives, understanding the complex social structure of the colony, the precise dance of the worker bees, and the vital role of pollinators in maintaining plant biodiversity, a fundamental pillar of our global food web. Their livelihood is intimately entwined with nature's intricate processes, a beautiful example of human effort enhancing rather than detracting from the natural world. Right livelihood asks us to become mindful gardeners, choosing our seeds and our methods with wisdom and compassion. It reminds us that our economic actions are not isolated events but are threads in the vast interconnected tapestry of existence. Each thread, woven with intention and care, contributes to the overall strength and beauty of the whole, reflecting a deep understanding of interdependence, a core principle found in both ancient wisdom and modern ecology. As the night deepens, let these thoughts settle gently, like dew on a quiet leaf. Consider the profound implications of aligning our daily work with the very principles of life itself. And as we drift towards the next segment of our journey, we will explore how this understanding of right livelihood extends to our daily choices, how we consume what we truly need, and how our gentlest actions can honor all of life. As we continue our quiet journey into the wisdom that whispers beneath our bustling lives, let us now turn from the work we do to how we live each day. We've spoken of how our inner gardens thrive when tended with care. And now, let's turn our gaze to the delicate balance between what we truly need, how we interact with the world around us, and the gentle act of consumption. Imagine, for a moment, a magnificent ancient tree. Its roots plunge deep into the earth, drawing up just enough sustenance to nourish its towering trunk, its wide-spreading branches, and its myriad leaves. It doesn't strive to absorb every drop of water from the soil, nor every ray of sunlight from the sky. It seeks sufficiency. This, in the language of Buddhist economics, is the heart of sufficiency, the profound understanding of enough. It's not about scarcity or deprivation, but about finding a harmonious sweet spot where our needs are met and our spirit feels content, not restless. Our modern world, however, often hums a different tune, one of endless accumulation, of more, always more. And here, science offers us a fascinating glimpse into the human mind. Have you ever noticed how a new toy, a delicious treat, or a cherished possession brings a burst of joy? But then, over time, that thrill gently fades. Our brilliant brains, you see, are wonderfully adaptable. This phenomenon is something psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. We adapt to new pleasures, and what was once novel becomes our new baseline, our normal. To feel the same surge of happiness, we often find ourselves needing something more or something new again. It's like walking on an internal treadmill where the scenery keeps changing, but we're always striving for the next vista, never quite resting in the beauty of the one we're currently in. The anticipation of something new, that soon I will have it feeling, often triggers a stronger rush of anticipation, a surge of neurotransmitters like dopamine than the actual possession itself. Our brains are wonderfully wired for the chase, not always for the quiet enjoyment of having arrived. Sufficiency gently invites us to step off that treadmill, to find peace in what already is, and to discover the quiet joy of not needing to chase the next external source of fleeting happiness. Now, let's widen our gaze from our inner landscapes to the vast, interconnected tapestry of life on Earth. The principle of non-harm, or ahimsa, is not just a gentle suggestion. It's a fundamental recognition of our place within a delicate web. Think of a spider web glistening with morning dew. Every strand is connected. A vibration on one thread sends ripples across the entire intricate structure. Our choices, however small they seem, send similar ripples through the global ecosystem. The distant factory making our garments, the remote mine extracting the minerals for our devices, the farm where our food is grown, these actions aren't isolated. They are profound stitches in the global ecological fabric. Scientists speak of planetary boundaries, 9 critical processes that regulate the stability and resilience of Earth's systems. These include the purity of our fresh water, the integrity of our biodiversity, the stability of our climate, and the health of our oceans. When our collective consumption pushes too hard against these boundaries, we inflict harm, not just on distant forests or nameless species, but on the very life support systems that sustain all of us, now and into the future. To live with non-harm is to consume with a gentle hand, mindful of these unseen ripples, understanding that every purchase, every choice, carries a story and leaves a footprint. And this brings us to the very act of consumption itself. It's not about stopping consumption entirely, for we are living beings who need to breathe, to eat, to shelter ourselves. Rather, it's about transforming it from an unconscious habit into a mindful practice. The universe, in its elegant simplicity, operates under fundamental laws. One of them is the second law of thermodynamics, which gently whispers to us that systems naturally tend towards disorder or entropy. Every act of creation, of transformation, of consumption involves an irreversible step in the journey of matter and energy. When we take raw materials from the earth and fashion them into goods, when we use energy, we are accelerating this process of transformation and dispersal. It's not a judgment, merely an observation. Every single thing we use, every single thing we discard, represents a change in the state of our world. Mindful consumption acknowledges this profound truth. But what if we could design our human systems to mimic nature's own wisdom, where waste is simply food for new life? A fallen leaf enriches the soil. A dead tree becomes a home for new creatures. This is the quiet aspiration of the circular economy, an approach where materials are kept in use, waste is designed out of the system, and natural systems are regenerated. It's a scientific vision that aligns so beautifully with the ancient wisdom of non-harm and sufficiency. It's an invitation to consume not with a hungry, insatiable flame, but with the gentle, balanced flow of a river, enriching everything it touches. Tlaulan, to truly embrace sufficiency, non-harm, and mindful consumption, is to participate in a grander design, one that nourishes not just our bodies and minds, but the entire interconnected web of life. It's about understanding that our well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of the planet, and that true prosperity isn't measured in endless accumulation, but in the richness of our relationships, the health of our environment, and the quiet contentment of having enough. As you drift deeper into rest, consider how these gentle ideas might illuminate your own path. Perhaps tomorrow you might notice your choices with a little more awareness, a little more kindness. And in the soft glow of this understanding, we'll continue our exploration next time turning our attention to the profound significance of generosity and compassion in our economic lives. Sleep sweetly now and dream of a world in gentle balance. As the day folds into night, we turn our thoughts to another facet of how this ancient wisdom can illuminate our modern world, extending from individual choices to the organizations we build together. We've spoken of sufficiency and how our choices ripple outwards. Now let's imagine those ripples extending into the very heart of our collective endeavors, our businesses and organizations. And picture, if you will, a vast, intricate garden where countless plants grow side by side. Some are tall and magnificent, others small and humble, but each contributes to the garden's overall health. In traditional economics, we might be tempted to focus only on the tallest, most visible plants, the profits, ensuring they reach maximum height. But Buddhist economics invites us to tend to the entire garden, to consider the health of the soil, the availability of water, and the flourishing of every single bloom and leaf. This, my dear listener, is the essence of an ethical business and organizational model. It begins with a shift in purpose, like reorienting a ship's compass from merely seeking the fastest route to port, to ensuring the journey itself is mindful, safe, and beneficial to all on board and those they encounter along the way. Instead of solely maximizing profit, ethical businesses aim to maximize well-being for their employees, their customers, their communities, and the planet. This isn't just a lofty ideal. It's profoundly practical, rooted in how our very brains are wired. Think for a moment about a workplace where compassion is a cornerstone. When leaders demonstrate empathy, when employees feel valued and heard, something remarkable happens within us. Our brains, particularly in areas like the ventral striatum and prefrontal cortex, light up with activity associated with reward and positive social interaction. Neurotransmitters like oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, are released, fostering feelings of trust and connection. This isn't just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It's a biological imperative. Studies in organizational psychology show that high-trust environments significantly reduce stress, lowering cortisol levels, improve collaboration, and boost creativity. When we feel safe and supported, our cognitive resources are freed up from vigilance and defense, allowing us to engage more fully and innovatively. It's like clearing away the tangled undergrowth in our mental garden, allowing sunlight to reach every budding idea. Consider the concept of right livelihood, a core tenet of Buddhist economics. It suggests that our work should not cause harm, but rather bring benefit to others. For an organization, this translates into valuing its employees as vital beings, not just cogs in a machine. This means fair wages that allow for a dignified life, not just bare subsistence. It means safe working conditions, opportunities for growth, and a genuine concern for their work-life balance. When employees feel they have autonomy over their work, a sense of mastery in their skills, and a clear purpose beyond just a paycheck, their intrinsic motivation, the drive to do something for its own sake, flourishes. Our brains, rich with dopamine pathways, are wired to seek novelty, challenge, and mastery. When a job offers these, it becomes a source of engagement, even joy, leading to higher productivity and lower turnover. It's like giving each plant in our garden the perfect amount of light and nutrient-rich soil. It naturally thrives. This extends beyond the internal walls of the organization, flowing outwards to its relationship with the broader community and the environment. An ethical business understands its deep interconnectedness. Just as a healthy forest relies on the intricate dance between trees, soil microbes, and diverse animal life, an ethical organization recognizes its dependence on a healthy society and a thriving planet. It's a fundamental principle of sound systems thinking, which teaches us that isolated actions have cascading effects throughout an entire network. For example, a business that exploits natural resources without regard for environmental impact isn't just harming the planet. It's ultimately undermining its own long-term viability and the well-being of the communities it serves. The very air we breathe, the water we drink, the stability of our climate, these are not external factors but integral components of a robust economy. From a sociological perspective, organizations that commit to ethical practices build what is known as social capital. This is the value derived from social networks, from trust, reciprocity, and cooperation. It's like having deep, strong roots that anchor our garden against storms. Companies with strong social capital are more resilient during economic downturns, attract and retain better talent, and enjoy greater customer loyalty. Our brains are highly attuned to fairness and reciprocity. When we perceive an organization to be acting ethically, our mirror neuron systems activate, fostering empathy and a desire to support that entity. We instinctively want to be part of something good, something aligned with our innate sense of justice. Moreover, ethical organizational models often embrace transparency and participatory decision-making. Imagine a river where the water is so clear you can see every stone on the bottom. This clarity builds trust, both internally and externally. When employees are involved in shaping decisions, not only do they offer diverse perspectives that often lead to better outcomes, but their sense of ownership and commitment grows. Scientifically, this taps into our innate need for agency and control, stimulating areas of the prefrontal cortex involved in planning and executive function. It reduces the stress associated with uncertainty and enhances psychological safety, knowing that one's voice matters. So, as we consider these principles, we see that an ethical business is not merely a nice way to operate, but a deeply intelligent, scientifically supported, and ultimately more sustainable path. It's about cultivating a thriving ecosystem where well-being is the true measure of prosperity, and where every act is viewed through the lens of its ripple effect. It's about designing organizations that resonate with the very best of human nature, fostering trust, compassion, and purpose. And now, with this understanding of how our collective endeavors can be reshaped by mindful intent, we might wonder, how do we measure the success of such endeavors? What compass guides us to know if we are truly flourishing? These questions lead us to consider the very metrics by which societies judge their progress. As the day settles into twilight, our minds often turn to what truly matters. We've spoken of sufficiency and the interconnectedness of all things, profound ideas that gently guide our understanding of the world. Now, let us drift deeper into the very heart of how we measure our progress as societies, as stewards of this remarkable planet. We shall explore two fascinating concepts: the familiar beacon of gross domestic product, or GDP, and a more contemplative compass known as gross national happiness, or GNH. Imagine, if you will, that you are sailing across a vast, tranquil ocean. For many, many decades, our primary instrument on this voyage has been a very powerful, very reliable speedometer. This speedometer is our gross domestic product, GDP. It meticulously calculates the monetary value of all the finished goods and services produced within a country's borders over a specific period. It tells us with impressive accuracy how fast our economic ship is moving, how much output we're generating, how robust our production lines are. And for a long time, especially in the wake of great global challenges like depressions and wars, this speedometer was absolutely vital. It helped us understand economic recovery, gauge industrial capacity, and track material prosperity. Yet, as we sailed further, many began to notice something curious. Our speedometer might be showing a steadily increasing speed, a booming economy. But were we truly heading in the right direction? Were the passengers on our ship truly content? Sometimes, despite the rising numbers, the waters around us grew murky, the air became heavy, and some parts of our ship seemed to be crumbling from within. Our sophisticated speedometer, it turned out, was blind to many things that profoundly impacted the journey. Consider, for instance, a vast forest, ancient and whispering. If that forest is cleared to build new factories, the timber harvested, the products manufactured, all of this adds to GDP. The speedometer whirs, showing growth. But the silent loss of ecological services, the clean air the trees once breathed into existence, the water filtered through their roots, the myriad species that called it home, the carbon sequestered from our atmosphere. These are invisible to GDP's counting gaze. Environmental scientists warn us constantly about the concept of planetary boundaries, critical thresholds beyond which Earth systems can no longer support human life as we know it. And yet GDP on its own remains blissfully unaware of whether we are approaching or even crossing these vital limits. It measures transactions, not sustainability. Nor think of the human heart of our societies. GDP sees the factory output but often misses the exhausted faces of the workers, or the silent, invaluable labor of a parent raising a child, a caregiver tending to an elderly relative, or a volunteer tending a community garden. These are the intricate, invisible threads that weave our social fabric. And yet, because they lack a market price, they are largely overlooked by GDP's accounting. Research in social sciences consistently shows that high levels of income inequality, often masked by robust GDP growth, can lead to decreased social cohesion, higher crime rates, and even poorer health outcomes across populations. GDP tells us the total size of the pie, but not how it's divided, nor if some are starving while others feast. It doesn't measure the rich tapestry of human connection or the erosion of trust within communities. Furthermore, scientific studies have shown us a fascinating paradox, famously articulated by economist Richard Easterlin. Beyond a certain point where basic needs are met, increased income doesn't necessarily correlate with increased happiness or life satisfaction. Our brains, you see, are remarkably adaptable, a phenomenon behavioral economists call the hedonic treadmill. We quickly adjust to new levels of material comfort, and what once brought joy soon becomes the new baseline, leading us to constantly seek the next more. So, while GDP might indicate a rise in material possessions, it often doesn't capture the deeper human experience of contentment or the nagging feeling of never enough. This is where our other compass, gross national happiness, or GNH, offers a different perspective. Born in the serene Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan, GNH isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a profound philosophy translated into a holistic framework for measuring societal progress. If GDP is our speedometer, GNH is a comprehensive dashboard for our ship, measuring not just speed but also fuel levels, engine health, passenger comfort, and even the direction of the wind. Instead of solely focusing on economic output, GNH considers 9 interconnected domains that are crucial for human flourishing and sustainable development. Let's gently explore a few of these, seeing how they resonate with scientific understandings of well-being. First, psychological well-being. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about the scientific understanding of flourishing. Positive psychology, a field dedicated to studying human strengths and virtues, reminds us of the importance of purpose, autonomy, mastery, and positive relationships. Neuroscience shows us how practices like mindfulness and compassion can literally reshape brain structures, enhancing areas associated with emotional regulation and empathy. GNH explicitly asks if citizens are experiencing these vital components of inner peace and satisfaction, understanding that a rich inner life is as important as material comforts. Then there's health. Beyond mere access to medical care, GNH considers holistic health, access to nutritious food, clean water, opportunities for physical activity, and robust mental health support. Studies in public health consistently link these factors to longevity, reduced stress hormones like cortisol, and a higher quality of life, far beyond what mere economic output can guarantee. Time use is another crucial domain. The frantic pace of modern life, often driven by the relentless pursuit of higher GDP, leaves little room for rest, reflection, or connection. GNH acknowledges that time is our most precious, non-renewable resource. Behavioral science teaches us that adequate leisure, particularly flow activities, where we are fully immersed in an activity we enjoy, and social interaction are crucial for mental restoration and fostering a sense of meaning, countering the detrimental effects of chronic stress and burnout. Crucially, GNH includes ecological diversity and resilience. This domain directly counters GDP's ecological blindness. It asks if our natural world is thriving, not just being exploited. Environmental science tells us unequivocally that biodiversity loss, climate change, and resource depletion threaten the very foundations of our existence and our future well-being. GNH integrates this understanding at its core, recognizing our deep interdependence with the living planet, an echo of Buddhist principles. And how about community vitality? Human beings are fundamentally social creatures. Sociological research demonstrates that strong social capital, the networks of relationships among people who live and work in a particular society, enabling that society to function effectively, is a powerful predictor of well-being, resilience in times of crisis, and even physical health. GNH measures the strength of these bonds, the trust among neighbors, the vibrancy of local traditions, understanding that loneliness can be as detrimental to health as smoking. While GNH also includes living standards, acknowledging the importance of material security, it places it within this broader constellation of factors, not as the sole or primary measure of success. It seeks sufficiency, a state where our basic needs are met without excessive consumption or accumulation. So, as we compare these two measures, GDP and GNH, we see a fundamental difference in philosophy. GDP is about how much we produce and consume. GNH is about how well we live and thrive, both individually and collectively, in harmony with our environment. GDP is a lens focused on transactions. GNH is a panoramic view of human and ecological flourishing. One measures the flow of money, the other attempts to gauge the flow of genuine well-being. Buddhist Economics, with its emphasis on interconnectedness, compassion, and the pursuit of true well-being over endless material gain, finds a deep resonance in the principles of gross national happiness. It invites us to consider that true progress isn't just about faster speeds, but about a more meaningful and sustainable journey. As our journey through these ideas continues, we shall next turn our gaze from how we measure human well-being to the very ground beneath our feet, our profound relationship with the earth itself, and the delicate balance upon which all prosperity ultimately rests. As we gently drift deeper into our understanding of Buddhist economics, we arrive at a topic as vast and vital as the breath we draw, our profound relationship with the earth itself. It's a relationship of deep interconnectedness, much like the unseen roots holding an ancient forest together. This connection, when explored with an open heart, reveals both the delicate balance of our planet and the profound ethical choices that lie before us. Imagine, if you will, our planet Earth as a magnificent living organism, breathing and vibrant, adorned with oceans that swirl like deep blue eyes and continents that rise like sleeping giants. For eons, this grand being has maintained a delicate dance of balance, a self-regulating harmony that scientists refer to as Earth's systems. Think of our atmosphere, that shimmering, invisible blanket above us, which is far more than just empty space. It's a dynamic blend of gases, predominantly nitrogen and oxygen, but also containing tiny amounts of crucial compounds like carbon dioxide. For millennia, the concentration of these gases, especially carbon dioxide, remained within a relatively stable range, around 280 parts per million before the industrial age. This balance allowed life to flourish, nurturing ecosystems from the deepest trenches to the highest peaks. The Earth, in its profound wisdom, has its own remarkable cycles. The water cycle, where oceans evaporate to form clouds that bless the land with rain. The nitrogen cycle, transforming atmospheric nitrogen into a form plants can use to grow. And the carbon cycle, where carbon gently moves between the atmosphere, oceans, soil, and living things. These are not abstract concepts. They are the very pulse of our planetary home, invisible threads weaving all life together in a breathtaking, symbiotic embrace. Every breath we take, every drop of water we drink, every seed that sprouts from the soil is a testament to this profound and ancient equilibrium. But what happens when this delicate balance is nudged too far? Picture a serene pond, its surface undisturbed, reflecting the sky perfectly. Now imagine dropping pebbles, one after another, creating ripples that spread wider and wider. Our human ingenuity, while capable of wondrous things, has also introduced a powerful new force into Earth's ancient rhythms. For centuries, we've come to rely on fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, buried treasures of compressed sunlight from eons past. When we extract and burn these fuels for energy, we release vast quantities of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it's a significant infusion, pushing the atmospheric concentration of CO2 past 420 parts per million today, a level unprecedented in at least 800,000 years, perhaps even millions. This excess carbon dioxide, along with other greenhouse gases like methane from agriculture and waste, acts like a thicker blanket around our planet, trapping more heat and causing what scientists refer to as global temperature rise. We observe this effect in the subtle warming of our world, leading to more frequent and intense heat waves, shifting rainfall patterns, and the gradual melting of polar ice caps and glaciers, contributing to rising sea levels. Our oceans, those deep blue eyes of Earth, absorb a significant portion of this excess carbon dioxide. While this helps to buffer atmospheric changes, it comes at a cost. The ocean's chemistry begins to change, a process called ocean acidification. This shift makes it harder for marine life, particularly creatures with shells like corals, clams, and microscopic plankton, to build and maintain their protective structures. It's as if the very building blocks of their homes are slowly dissolving. Consider the sheer volume of materials we consume and discard. Every year, billions of tons of waste are generated globally, with plastics being a particularly persistent challenge. Microplastics, tiny fragments broken down from larger items, now permeate every corner of our planet, from the deepest ocean trenches to the highest mountain peaks, even entering our food chains. This vast human footprint, though driven by a desire for comfort and progress, often overlooks the finite nature of our planetary resources and the profound impact of our industrial metabolism on Earth's delicate, self-sustaining systems. As the ripples spread, we begin to see the intricate web of life respond. Think of a magnificent tapestry, woven with countless threads of vibrant colors and textures, each thread representing a species, an ecosystem, a delicate relationship. When we pull too hard on one thread, or even sever it, the entire pattern is affected, sometimes unraveling in unexpected ways. Scientists speak of biodiversity, the incredible variety of life on Earth, from the smallest bacteria to the tallest redwood trees. This diversity isn't just beautiful, it's essential for the health of our planet. Each species plays a role, contributing to what we call ecosystem services, the often unseen benefits nature provides us for free. Bees, for instance, are tiny, tireless architects of our food supply, pollinating countless crops. Forests, those verdant lungs of the earth, not only absorb carbon dioxide, but also purify our air and water, prevent soil erosion, and regulate local climates. However, human activities like deforestation for agriculture and urban expansion, overfishing, and pollution are accelerating species extinction rates at an alarming pace, an estimated 100 to 1,000 times the natural background rate. This loss isn't just about losing a unique creature, it's about disrupting entire food webs. Imagine a keystone species, like a wolf in a forest or a sea otter in a kelp forest. These creatures, though perhaps not the most numerous, have disproportionately large impacts on their ecosystems. When they disappear, the entire structure can shift dramatically, sometimes irreversibly. The delicate balance of predator and prey, of nutrient cycling, of habitat creation, all begin to fray. The health of the natural world is not separate from our own, it is deeply intertwined. When the soil loses its fertility due to unsustainable farming practices, when freshwater sources become polluted, or when the air grows heavy with particulate matter from industrial emissions, it is our own well-being that is ultimately diminished. Understanding this profound interconnectedness, this shared destiny with all life, is a cornerstone of a truly sustainable way of being. It is precisely at this juncture that the wisdom of Buddhist economics offers a guiding light, encouraging us to look at our resources not as endless commodities to be exploited, but as precious gifts to be cherished and shared with deep respect. It invites us to consider what true wealth really means, moving beyond mere accumulation to a wealth of well-being, for ourselves and for all beings. This perspective naturally aligns with what modern science calls the principles of a circular economy. Instead of a linear take, make, dispose model, where raw materials are extracted, turned into products, and then discarded as waste, a circular economy strives to mimic nature's own perfect cycles. Think of a tree. When its leaves fall, they don't become waste. They decompose, returning vital nutrients to the soil to nourish new growth. In a circular system, we prioritize reduce, reuse, and recycle. We design products to last longer, to be repaired rather than replaced, and at the end of their useful life, their components are reintegrated into the production loop. This dramatically minimizes the extraction of new raw materials like critical minerals such as lithium for batteries or rare earth elements for electronics, which are finite and often environmentally costly to mine. It also drastically reduces waste and pollution. Sustainable resource management, from this ethical standpoint, means making decisions with a long-term vision, considering the needs of future generations, what indigenous wisdom traditions often call the 7 generations principle. It means recognizing that the cost of a product should include its entire life cycle impact, from the energy used in its creation to the pollution generated by its disposal. This isn't just an economic calculation, it's an ethical imperative rooted in compassion. Understanding that we are temporary custodians of this magnificent earth, borrowing its bounty rather than owning it outright. By embracing this wisdom, we begin to mend the threads of our planetary tapestry, weaving a future that is both prosperous and profoundly peaceful. The journey towards sustainability, illuminated by this gentle wisdom, is not a path of scarcity or deprivation, but one of conscious abundance and profound ingenuity. It's a journey where science and spirit walk hand in hand. Scientists are tirelessly innovating, developing renewable energy, technologies that harness the sun's limitless warmth and the wind's graceful power, dramatically reducing our reliance on carbon-intensive fossil fuels. Engineers are designing new materials that are biodegradable or infinitely recyclable, while ecologists are working on restoring degraded ecosystems, helping forests to regrow and rivers to flow clean once more. And we, each one of us, play a vital role. Every conscious choice, however small it may seem, creates a ripple. Choosing to consume less, to cherish what we have, to repair instead of replace, to support businesses that align with these values, these are not just personal preferences, they are acts of profound planetary stewardship. When we understand our own ecological footprint, the demand we place on Earth's natural resources, we gain the power to reshape it, to walk more lightly upon this precious ground. The path forward is one of mindful living, of reconnecting with the cycles of nature, and of remembering our place within the vast, interconnected web of life. As we gently contemplate these intricate relationships between our economy, our ethics, and the very ground beneath our feet, we begin to see that true prosperity is not measured in endless growth, but in the flourishing of all beings and the health of our shared home. This understanding naturally leads us to consider the choices we make every day, choices that shape our individual well-being and the collective future. Yet, as these thoughts settle like soft starlight, we must also acknowledge the shadows, the forces within human nature that can lead even the most well-intentioned systems astray. For to build a truly sustainable economy, we must first understand what undermines it. As the world outside settles into its quiet repose, our journey now turns inward, exploring the subtle currents that move through the marketplaces of our lives. We've spoken of interconnectedness and the gentle flow of giving and receiving. But sometimes, dear listener, these currents can become turbulent, stirred by forces that arise from within ourselves. The ancient companions we call greed, hatred, and delusion. Imagine, if you will, the market as a vast, shimmering ocean. On its surface, countless vessels sail, each representing an endeavor, an investment, a dream. And within each vessel, a navigator, a human heart, charting a course. It is here, in the heart, that these powerful forces begin to unfurl themselves, sometimes like sails catching a powerful wind, sometimes like anchors dragging against the seabed. Let us first speak of greed. It is not always a monstrous thing, not at first. Often it begins as a gentle curiosity, a desire for comfort, for security, for a little more ease in life. But then it can grow, like a seedling reaching for the sun, taller and taller, until its shadow stretches far and wide. In the language of our minds, greed often manifests as an insatiable craving, a relentless urge for accumulation. Our brains, wondrous and complex organs, possess a delicate network known as the reward system. When we anticipate a gain, a profit, a treasure discovered, this system springs to life, releasing a chemical messenger called dopamine. It's like a tiny spark of excitement, a promise of satisfaction. This spark is meant to guide us towards resources essential for survival. But in the modern marketplace, it can become amplified, a constant hum of more, more, more. Think of a shimmering mirage on the horizon, the promise of endless wealth, effortless riches. Our brains, eager for that dopamine rush, can become exquisitely attuned to these signals, sometimes even overriding our logical compass. This is where behavioral economics offers us profound insights. We are not always purely rational beings. For instance, prospect theory tells us that the pleasure we derive from a gain isn't quite symmetrical with the pain we feel from an equivalent loss. The pain of losing $1 often feels more acute than the joy of gaining one. This asymmetry can fuel greed in a peculiar way. To avoid the stinging sensation of a loss, or to ensure a substantial gain, we might be tempted to take greater risks, chasing ever larger rewards, like a sailor pushing their ship into increasingly rough waters in pursuit of a rumored treasure island. We might become vulnerable to the availability heuristic, where easily recalled stories of massive market successes, the overnight millionaire, the tech titan, loom larger in our minds, making such outcomes seem far more common and achievable than they truly are. This can drive collective waves of enthusiasm, a herding behavior, where individuals, fearing to miss out on perceived gains, the dreaded FOMO, or fear of missing out, follow the crowd, perhaps even against their better judgment, like countless fish swimming in one direction, swept along by the current of collective desire. But what happens when that desire is thwarted? What if the shimmering mirage proves elusive, or the anticipated gain turns into a loss? This can lead us to the shores of hatred, or more gently, aversion. The same brain that craves gain also possesses a powerful defense system. When we perceive a threat, when our desires are frustrated, or when we face a loss, another part of our brain, the almond-shaped amygdala, springs into action. This is the ancient alarm bell, triggering our fight or flight response. In the market, this doesn't necessarily mean physical violence, but it can manifest as sharp anger, resentment, blame, or a fierce desire to reject and escape. It's the sharp retort when a forecast proves wrong, the bitter feeling when a competitor succeeds, or the sudden overwhelming urge to panic sell when the market takes a downturn, even if it's illogical in the long run. The pain of loss, amplified by our loss aversion, can make us hold on to failing investments far too long, stubbornly refusing to admit error, or conversely, cause us to flee at the first sign of trouble, rejecting the possibility of recovery simply to escape the discomfort. This can contribute to a zero-sum mindset where another's success feels like our own failure, fostering a spirit of harsh competition rather than collaborative prosperity. And woven through both greed and hatred, like an invisible mist that clouds our vision, is delusion. This is perhaps the most insidious, for it prevents us from seeing clearly, from understanding the true nature of things. Delusion in the market is not about intentional deceit, but about our natural human tendency to misinterpret, to cling to convenient narratives, and to ignore uncomfortable truths. Our minds are incredible storytellers, and sometimes they tell us stories that aren't entirely accurate. We fall prey to a multitude of cognitive biases. For instance, the overconfidence bias might lead us to believe we are better at predicting market movements than we actually are, causing us to dismiss expert warnings or take unwarranted risks. The sunk cost fallacy makes us continue to pour resources into a failing venture, not because it's wise, but because we've already invested so much, We can't bear to let it go, like holding on to a leaky bucket simply because we spent time decorating it. We might be swayed by the anchoring bias, where an initial price or piece of information unduly influences our subsequent judgments, even if it's irrelevant. Delusion whispers sweet nothings of certainty where none exists, creating patterns in randomness and simplifying complex systems into easily digestible yet often misleading narratives. It's the fog that obscures the true landscape, making distant objects appear closer or larger than they are, or concealing dangers lurking just beneath the surface. When we are caught in the grip of delusion, our perception is distorted. We might fail to see the interconnectedness of our actions with the wider world, blinded by our own immediate desires. We might ignore the long-term ecological consequences of our short-term profit motives, or fail to recognize the systemic risks building up in the economy, much like someone gazing intently at a single leaf, oblivious to the health of the entire forest. Buddhist Economics gently reminds us that these forces, greed, hatred, and delusion, are not external enemies, but patterns of mind that, left unchecked, can lead to suffering, not just for individuals, but for the entire market ecosystem. By understanding their origins, by recognizing the way our brains are wired, we gain the possibility of choice. We can learn to observe these impulses without being swept away by them, to cultivate a clearer vision, a more balanced approach. For when the navigator's mind is clear, unclouded by the mists of delusion, the ship can sail a truer course through fair weather and foul, with wisdom as its compass and compassion as its guiding star. As we drift now from the turbulent waters of these three poisons, let us prepare to explore how, with mindfulness and wisdom, we might steer towards a more equitable and sustainable economy, one that fosters well-being for all beings. Now we turn our attention to the antidotes, the transformative practices of mindfulness and compassion that can guide us from those turbulent waters into calmer, clearer currents. We arrive now at a particularly tender and profound clearing in our journey, one illuminated by the gentle yet powerful forces of mindfulness and compassion. Imagine, if you will, that our economic world isn't just a vast impersonal machine of transactions and numbers, but rather a sprawling garden where every choice we make is like planting a seed, nurturing a sapling, or tending to the very soil beneath our feet. At the heart of this garden lies mindfulness. What is mindfulness truly in the quiet depths of the night? It is simply the act of paying attention on purpose to the present moment without judgment. Think of it as a calm lake, perfectly still, reflecting the moon and stars with crystalline clarity. When our minds are like this still lake, our perceptions become sharper, our understanding deeper. We're not swept away by the currents of habit or the gusts of impulsive desire. From a scientific perspective, this isn't just a pleasant thought. It's a demonstrable shift in our neurobiology. Studies have shown that regular mindfulness practice can actually change the very structure of our brains. The prefrontal cortex, that sophisticated area right behind your forehead, responsible for executive function, decision-making, and emotional regulation, often shows increased activity and even thicker gray matter in experienced meditators, Simultaneously, the amygdala, our brain's ancient alarm system that triggers our fight or flight response, tends to quiet down. This means that instead of reacting automatically to every fleeting desire or financial anxiety, we gain a precious space, a pause, where we can observe our thoughts and feelings without being consumed by them. How does this translate into our economic garden? When we approach our financial choices with mindful awareness, we begin to distinguish between true needs and manufactured wants. The siren call of advertising, designed to tap into our unconscious desires, loses some of its power when met with a calm, discerning mind. We become less susceptible to common cognitive biases that often lead to poor financial decisions. For instance, the present bias, which makes us prioritize immediate gratification over long-term savings, can be significantly lessened. Instead of impulsively buying something new, a mindful pause allows us to ask, do I truly need this? What are the long-term implications? Is this aligned with my deeper values? This isn't just about saving money, though it often leads to that. It's about reducing financial stress, which is a major contributor to anxiety and unhappiness. When we become mindful of our financial habits, we take greater ownership, experiencing less stress and more genuine well-being. We move from being passengers in our economic lives to being conscious navigators, guiding our choices with greater clarity and intention. But the garden of Buddhist economics doesn't just thrive on stillness, it also flourishes with warmth. This warmth is compassion. If mindfulness is the clear awareness of what is, compassion is the natural, heartfelt response to suffering, coupled with a genuine desire to alleviate it. It's not simply empathy, which is feeling with someone. Compassion adds the crucial element of action, a gentle, outward-flowing impulse to help. And again, science offers us a window into this beautiful inner state. When we engage in compassionate thinking or action, specific neural circuits in our brains light up. The body insula and the anterior cingulate cortex, regions involved in empathy, social cognition, and even our experience of pain, become highly active. What's more, our bodies may release oxytocin, often called the love hormone or trust hormone, which deepens our sense of connection and fosters pro-social behaviors. Far from being a soft or weak emotion, compassion is a powerful biological and psychological motivator for connection and generosity. In the economic realm, compassion transforms our interactions from purely transactional to deeply relational. Instead of viewing others solely as competitors or abstract consumers, we begin to see them as fellow beings, interconnected in this vast human family. This shift fosters a profound willingness to share, to cooperate, and to ensure fairness. It means choosing to support businesses that treat their workers justly and source their materials ethically, even if it costs a little more. It means advocating for policies that lift up the most vulnerable in society, knowing that our collective well-being is intrinsically linked. Think of experiments in behavioral economics like the ultimatum game, where one person proposes a split of money and the other accepts or rejects it. A purely self-interested player might accept any amount, but human beings, driven by a sense of fairness, often rooted in compassion, frequently reject offers they perceive as unjust, even if it means getting nothing themselves. This demonstrates that our desire for equity is deeply ingrained and plays a significant role in our economic choices. When mindfulness and compassion interweave, they create a robust tapestry for economic action. Mindfulness gives us the clarity to see the interconnectedness of all things, how our consumption choices impact communities across the globe or the health of the planet. Compassion then provides the motivation to act on that understanding, to choose paths that lead to less harm and more flourishing for all. It moves us away from a narrow, self-centered economic model towards one that values collective well-being, sustainability, and ethical stewardship. These aren't static traits. Our brains are wonderfully plastic, meaning they can be molded and shaped by our experiences and practices. Every time we choose to pause, to observe, to respond with kindness, we are quite literally rewiring our neural pathways, strengthening the very foundations for a more humane and sustainable economic future. It's a quiet revolution happening within each of us, radiating outwards. As we drift deeper into this understanding, we realize that the greatest shifts in our external world often begin with the most subtle transformations within. And as these profound inner qualities take root, we begin to see how they must translate into something larger, into the very frameworks and policies that shape our communities and global systems. Let's turn our gaze now from the gentle hum of individual intentions to the grand tapestry of our shared world. We've spoken of the seeds of compassion and wisdom blooming within each of us. But what happens when these delicate flowers begin to intertwine, forming a vast garden that stretches across continents? This is where policy frameworks come in, the unseen architecture that shapes our societies, guiding the currents of human activity, much like the subtle yet powerful forces that orchestrate the tides of the ocean. Imagine, if you will, our world not as a collection of separate islands, but as a single, magnificent, living organism, breathing and vibrant. In this organism, the policies we choose are like the nerve impulses carrying messages of care or neglect throughout its intricate systems. Buddhist Economics, with its profound understanding of interdependence and non-harm, whispers a different way of designing these impulses, urging us to consider not just short-term gain, but the holistic well-being of all beings and the planet itself. For generations, our global policies have largely been driven by a singular, powerful metric: gross domestic product, or GDP. It's like trying to judge the health of that magnificent organism solely by how fast its heart is beating, without looking at the quality of its breath, the strength of its immune system, or the peace in its mind. Scientific studies in economics and sociology have long pointed to the limitations of this approach. We've learned, for instance, through phenomena like the Easterlin paradox, that while increasing income does contribute to happiness up to a certain point, beyond that threshold, further increases in wealth do not necessarily lead to greater life satisfaction or well-being. It's a bit like trying to quench your thirst with an endless stream of glittering diamonds. They might be beautiful, but they don't nourish you in the way a simple glass of water does. This scientific understanding forms the bedrock for new policy frameworks that seek a more comprehensive view of progress. Consider the pioneering work in alternative metrics, which are like more finely tuned instruments for measuring the true melody of societal flourishing. The Human Development Index, HDI, for example, combines life expectancy, education, and per capita income, offering a broader picture than mere economic output. Then there's the Haas Genuine Progress Indicator, GPI, which adjusts GDP by factoring in things like pollution, resource depletion, and income inequality, while also valuing activities like volunteer work and household labor. It's as if we're learning to hear the soft whispers of nature and community, which GDP often drowns out. Perhaps one of the most vivid metaphors for this shift comes from donut economics, proposed by economist Kate Raworth. Imagine a donut with an inner ring representing a social foundation, the basic needs of humanity like food, water, healthcare, education, and peace, and an outer ring representing the ecological ceiling, the planetary boundaries we must not transgress. This framework, deeply resonant with Buddhist economic principles, is grounded in cutting-edge Earth system science. Scientific consensus, powerfully articulated by researchers like those in the Stockholm Resilience Center, who identified 9 planetary boundaries, reveals that we have already overshot several of these critical thresholds, including climate change, biodiversity loss, and nitrogen and phosphorus cycles. These are not arbitrary lines in the sand, but scientifically determined limits to the Earth's capacity to sustain human life and well-being. Policies, then, become the delicate guidance system, navigating us back into the safe and just space of the donut, ensuring sufficiency for all within the planet's ecological means. So, what do policies guided by these principles look like? They are policies woven with compassion and an understanding of our shared destiny. They prioritize investment in renewable energy sources, not just as an economic opportunity, but as an urgent necessity informed by climate science to mitigate global warming. They foster circular economy models, moving away from a linear take, make, dispose approach towards systems where waste is minimized, resources are reused, and products are designed for longevity and regeneration, a concept rooted in material science and ecological principles of closed-loop systems found in nature. Imagine a forest where every fallen leaf becomes nourishment for new life. Our policies strive for a similar elegance in human economies. Such frameworks also emphasize universal basic services, ensuring access to healthcare, education, and housing for all, not just as acts of charity, but as foundational elements for societal stability and individual well-being. Neuroscience shows us that chronic stress from insecurity can have profound negative impacts on health and cognitive function. Policies that reduce this insecurity, therefore, aren't just compassionate. They are also scientifically astute in promoting human flourishing. They also recognize the immense, often unseen, value of ecosystem services, the natural processes that support human life, like clean air and water provided by forests, pollination by insects for our crops, or the climate regulation offered by oceans and wetlands. Economic valuation methods, drawing on ecological science, are now helping us quantify this value, making the case for conservation not just an ethical one, but an economically rational one too. Implementing these frameworks globally is, of course, a monumental task. Our world is a mosaic of cultures, economies, and political systems, each with its own unique patterns. Yet, just as different species contribute to the resilience of an ecosystem, diversity can be a strength. International agreements such as the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, set by the United Nations, represent a collective endeavor, a shared aspiration for a more just and sustainable world. These goals, while aspirational, provide a common language and a framework for national policies to align with global well-being. The challenge lies in fostering genuine cooperation, in building bridges of trust and shared understanding across these differences. It's akin to the delicate dance of international scientific collaborations, where researchers from various backgrounds come together, sharing data and insights to solve complex global challenges, be it tracking disease outbreaks or understanding cosmic phenomena. This kind of global implementation demands not just intellectual agreement, but also a shift in the collective heart, a recognition that our individual and national destinies are inextricably linked. It requires policies that encourage global empathy, understanding that the well-being of a community on one side of the world affects us all, much like a single perturbation in a vast atmospheric system can eventually influence weather patterns thousands of miles away. It's a call to move beyond purely competitive paradigms towards models of cooperative advantage, where nations collaborate to solve shared problems like climate change and pandemics, understanding that collective success ultimately benefits everyone. The journey towards truly integrated, compassionate, and scientifically informed policy frameworks is ongoing, a continuous learning process. It asks us to be mindful of the consequences of our actions, to listen to the Earth's wisdom, and to remember that true prosperity is not about having more, but about living well, together, within the embrace of our beautiful, finite planet. And as we consider these grand designs for our shared future, we must also remember that these frameworks are only as strong as the foundations upon which they are built. The everyday choices, the individual transformations, and the cultural narratives that shape our collective consciousness. It is to these deeper currents of societal transformation that we shall gently turn our attention next. We arrive at a particularly profound point in our journey tonight, one that asks us to look at the very foundation of how we organize our collective lives on this planet. Imagine, if you will, our global economy not as a frantic, ceaseless current, but as a vast, intricate river system. For centuries, this river has flowed, widening and deepening, carving its path through the landscape. We've often measured its success by the sheer volume of water rushing past, the speed of its flow, believing that a bigger, faster river always meant more prosperity. But what if this river, for all its power and impressive surge, was subtly eroding its own banks, depleting its sources, and leaving the lands downstream parched or flooded? What if the pursuit of an ever larger, ever faster current was actually jeopardizing the river itself and all the life it supports? This is the core question that leads us to consider a sustainable global economic paradigm, an idea deeply resonant with the wisdom of Buddhist economics. Now, our current global economic model, often described as a linear system, largely operates on a principle of take, make, dispose. We extract vast quantities of raw materials from the earth, transform them into products, use them, and then discard them as waste. This paradigm has fueled incredible innovation and lifted many out of poverty. Yet, it has also pushed our planet's life support systems to their very limits. Scientific consensus, particularly from researchers like Johann Rockström and his colleagues, has identified what they call planetary boundaries, 9 crucial processes that regulate the stability and resilience of the Earth system. These are like the guardrails on a cosmic highway, or perhaps more gently, the essential walls of a shared, living home. Crossing these boundaries, they warn, could lead to irreversible environmental changes, profoundly impacting human well-being. Think of the climate change boundary, for instance, where the delicate balance of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere is being disrupted by our burning of fossil fuels. Or the biodiversity loss boundary, where species are vanishing at an alarming rate, weakening the intricate web of life that sustains us all. We're talking about the nitrogen and phosphorus cycles, essential for agriculture, now overloaded by synthetic fertilizers, creating dead zones in our oceans. We're talking about land system change, where forests and natural habitats are converted for human use at a rate that undermines the planet's ability to regulate itself. These are not abstract concepts. They are the very real, measurable scientific indicators of our planet's health, and many of these boundaries have already been transgressed. The challenge, then, is to reimagine our economic river. Instead of a linear flow, what if we designed it to be cyclical, regenerative, mirroring the timeless wisdom of nature itself? This is where the concept of a circular economy emerges as a powerful scientific and practical solution. Pioneered by thinkers and organizations like the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, a circular economy moves beyond take, make, dispose to reduce, reuse, recycle, and regenerate. It's about designing products to last, to be repaired, to be upgraded, and ultimately to be repurposed or safely returned to nature, minimizing waste and maximizing resource efficiency. Imagine if every discarded item wasn't an end-of-life problem, but a valuable resource, feedstock for the next generation of products. This shift, grounded in material science and industrial ecology, aims to decouple economic growth from the consumption of finite resources and the generation of waste. It's like turning our economic river into a beautifully self-sustaining lake, where everything that flows in is eventually, elegantly put back to use within its own system. But a sustainable paradigm isn't just about how we handle materials, it's also about what we value. For too long, our global economy has been fixated on gross domestic product, or GDP, as the primary measure of progress. GDP simply counts the monetary value of goods and services produced, but it fails to account for so much that truly matters. It doesn't subtract the cost of environmental degradation, the strain on human well-being, or the widening chasm of inequality. A factory producing pollution adds to GDP, as does the hospital treating the resulting illnesses. It's like measuring the success of a garden by the height of its weeds, rather than the health of its soil or the abundance of its harvest. Buddhist Economics, with its emphasis on sufficiency, santuti, and genuine well-being, offers a profound counter-narrative. It suggests we should seek an economy that serves human flourishing within ecological limits, rather than one that prioritizes endless material accumulation. This scientific and philosophical shift is beautifully captured by concepts like Kate Raworth's Donut Economics, which aims to meet humanity's needs, a social foundation, without overshooting Earth's ecological ceiling, the planetary boundaries we just discussed. Or Bhutan's pioneering embrace of gross national happiness, GNH, which measures progress not just by material wealth, but by psychological well-being, cultural preservation, environmental conservation, and good governance. These alternative metrics are not soft, idealistic dreams. They are robust frameworks for understanding and measuring a more holistic and ultimately more durable form of prosperity. Such a paradigm understands that our well-being is inextricably linked to the well-being of the planet and to each other. It's an economy built on compassion, karuna, for all beings, including future generations who deserve a vibrant, healthy Earth. It's about cultivating intergenerational equity, ensuring that our actions today do not diminish the capacity of those yet to come to meet their own needs. This requires a systemic shift in thinking, moving away from short-term gains towards long-term resilience, recognizing the complex feedback loops that connect our consumption choices to rainforests thousands of miles away, or to the stability of distant communities. It's a recognition of the scientific principle of interconnectedness, where a butterfly's flap can indeed cause a ripple far away. This isn't a call for austerity or a retreat from innovation. Quite the opposite. It's an invitation to a deeper, more profound kind of ingenuity, one that designs systems for enduring health, that regenerates rather than depletes, that finds joy in sufficiency rather than insatiable acquisition. It's a gentle revolution of consciousness, leading to a global economic paradigm that is truly sustainable, truly just, and truly wise. As we gently consider this grand vision of a sustainable future, our journey through these luminous ideas draws toward its close like a river finding its way to the peaceful sea. As the world outside begins to hush and the stars prepare their silent vigil, we gently draw our wondrous journey to a close. Tonight, we didn't travel to distant galaxies or peer into the microscopic marvels within a single cell. Instead, we embarked upon a different kind of exploration, a journey inward and outward, into the gentle heart of what we've called Buddhist Economics. Remember how we began? By simply inviting ourselves to pause, to breathe, and to consider the very purpose of our bustling world. It was an invitation, wasn't it? An invitation to look beyond the relentless pursuit of more and to instead softly inquire, what is truly enough? What truly brings us and all beings a sense of peace and flourishing? We spoke of sufficiency, not as a lack, but as a rich abundance. The wisdom that suggests true contentment isn't found in accumulating an endless stream of things, but in appreciating what we already have, and knowing that our basic needs can be met with grace and dignity. It's like finding a quiet clearing in a vast forest, where the sunlight falls just right, and you realize this right here is perfect. It was a gentle shift in perspective, wasn't it? A quiet turning away from the clamor and towards a whisper of inner peace. Fun. Then, our path led us to the idea of right livelihood, a beautiful concept, like tending a garden where every action contributes to health and harmony. We considered work not just as a means to an end, but as an opportunity to serve, to create, to care, and to cause no harm. Imagine a world where our daily efforts, the very fabric of our working lives, could be woven with threads of kindness and purpose, where what we do, how we do it, and the impact it has can nourish not only ourselves, but our communities and the planet. It was a vision of work imbued with meaning, flowing with an ethical current, enriching everything it touched. As our journey continued, we paused by the gentle stream of interconnectedness. We quietly observed how everything is linked, like threads in a cosmic tapestry. Our choices, our actions, our ways of being in the economic world ripple outwards, touching every life, every ecosystem, every distant shore. This deep understanding of our shared existence fostered a sense of profound compassion, didn't it? It encouraged us to consider the well-being of all, not just our own, extending our circle of care to include the tiniest creature and the vast expanse of our earth. It was a lesson in empathy, whispered by the wind and echoed by the stars, reminding us that true prosperity is collective. And finally, we return to the understanding that true wealth isn't merely measured in numbers or possessions, but in the richness of our inner lives, the strength of our connections, and the health of our shared home. Buddhist economics gently guided us to prioritize genuine human well-being, happiness, and peace over mere material accumulation. It showed us that a thriving society is one where hearts are content, spirits are calm, and everyone has the opportunity to live a life of meaning and dignity. Tonight, we didn't find definitive answers carved in stone, but rather we encountered gentle questions, guiding lights that illuminate a different way of being in the world. We explored a path that invites us to slow down, to be mindful, and to infuse our economic choices with wisdom and kindness. It's a philosophy that speaks softly yet profoundly, reminding us of the beautiful potential within each of us and within our collective human endeavor to create a world that truly nurtures life. Now, as your own world grows still and your eyes grow heavy, let these thoughts drift like soft clouds across your mind. There's no need to grasp them, only to let them settle gently, like stardust, as you prepare for sleep. The wonder of this journey, this contemplative exploration of how we can live more harmoniously, doesn't end when the light goes out. It simply transforms. Perhaps, in the quiet tapestry of your dreams, these seeds of thought will continue to grow, unfolding new patterns of peace and possibility. For the journey of understanding, the journey towards a kinder, more mindful way of living and relating, truly never ceases. It simply shifts its landscape from waking moments to the soft embrace of slumber. Rest now, my dear friend. May your dreams be peaceful, rich with quiet wonder, and filled with the gentle hum of a world living in harmony. Good night.